Just transition is at the heart of the European Green Deal. We must act fast, said Mr. Timmermans, who also pointed out some regions that already succeeded in the transition, however, stating that the challenges remain complex. About the challenges and opportunities and good practices of the just transition, we are talking today during the conference. As Minister Czetwertyński already said, the conference will tackle four topics, four different topics. We will be talking about the impact of the just transition on the quality of life. We will tackle the issues of skills and labor market to adjust the regions and to adopt to the just transition. We will be talking a lot about the dialogue, the role of social dialogue in the just transition process, and last but not least, about the cultural and identity changes brought about by just transition. We do believe that all our distinguished guests have shared many important insights and thoughts and inspiration on how to make the just transition in a way that will ensure people and their everyday lives in the center of the whole process. And I would like to bring now the key thoughts, the messages that were presented by our experts that are, I think, a good summary of what happened today. Let me start with words from Mr. Frans Timmermans, who stated that just transition makes economic sense and is now driven by economic signals. However, we cannot rely on the invisible hand of the market to make it socially fair. We also have heard from Professor Feba Konduri. She said, it is obvious that just transition requires effective mechanisms for private and public partnership. After all, most of the capital on the market is private. We've also heard from Mr. Ricardo Mourinho Feliz, who emphasizes the fact that redistribution by itself will not suffice. Human capital, skills, and labor markets, these issues are the key. I would like to also remind and bring the guidelines, or how it was presented, the golden rules of just transition that were proposed by Mr. Antoni Bielewicz, who said that all processes have to be evidence-based. Do not trust your gut feeling, not matter who you are. Secondly, he mentioned that include different stakeholders. Groups have to be very specifically and carefully designed and defined. Third, empower local governments. Everybody knows it's in theory, however, in practice, this is not always the case. Fourth, do not forget about the heritage of local communities. It is intangible, but it's an asset. And finally, adopt a long-term perspective, the golden rule of just transition by Mr. Antoni Bielewicz. And last but not least, I would like to quote what Mr. Remy Xi Jinping said. We need a narrative explaining change in a common issue affecting everyone. Without cooperation, the challenges of just transition will not become opportunities.